Nocturnal Redditors, what are your favorite things about the night? It's so quiet and peaceful. It feels like during the day the world is so busy and chaotic. At night it's all zen. No expectations. Daytime feels like I'm expected to do productive life things. Nighttime, all I have to do is be quiet and no one expects anything else from me. I can knit or read for hours and not feel like I'm wasting the day. Night air has a different smell, especially in spring. Flowers, rain, wet earth, all smell different at night to me. Nobody else is awake. It's true privacy. It's so quiet. The quiet, the lack of people. The wildlife is more active. There are possums, Australian possums, living in our roof, and at night they come out and sit on the veranda railings. I love leaving the curtains open so I can watch them play. They've all got names. They've got their own personalities and quirks. There's a family of wombats living in a burrow under the garden shed, and a couple of wallabies that visit at night. We also get visits from flying foxes, owls, tawny frogmouths. The general lack of people. I work third shift, and unlike my day walking cohorts, I can listen to a podcast and do paperwork in relative peace because there's a solid 3 hours in the middle of the night where I am left the hell alone. I just love the serene feeling during the night. The gentle sounds of crickets are calming to the ears. The peace and quiet. It's cooler, temperature wise, and I love the moonlight shining in my room. The stars. I've got a big crush on stars. I can do whatever I want without anyone interrupting me. I wish I lived alone in the middle of nowhere so whatever ruckus I make wouldn't bother anyone. I have more energy at night than at daytime. Does anyone else feel anxious that they need to be doing something productive while the sun is out? At night I feel relaxed. Office is closed. Everyone is asleep. No one is going to bug me. And there's nothing I can do about particular problems even if I wanted to. So no one is going to mind if I'm just here chilling out doing nothing, right? The calmness and quietness of the surroundings all day. I work nights so when I'm off I'm still typically up real late. I like grilling outside in the middle of the night. The smell reminds me of street vendor food when walking around after a night of drinking somewhere. The moon looks cool and the sun hurts my eyes so it's clear who's the winner. You have no obligations and no one expects anything of you. You can stare at a wall for 3 hours or count blades of grass on your lawn and you don't feel like you're wasting time. I have been a night person my whole life. I love the quiet and calm of night. I feel like night people have a different mindset. The night is sacred. The universe allows us a small look into the holy void. The moon who mercifully slowed our planet's rotation continues her vigil over us. The deep things of the night sing their songs while the meaningless screeching of a pointless society halts if only for a few hours. What's not to like? My sensitivity to outside noises and stimulus go down. My dogs are asleep, so I no longer need to keep one ear on them. Kid is asleep so I don't have to really listen out if he needs something. The road is quieter. Delivery drivers don't come to make the dogs bark. No one besides myself needs anything. For a few hours I'm only in charge of myself and I'm low ducking maintenance compared to everything else. The calmness. The serenity. The night drive with windows open. No music. Just the sound of my tires hitting the ground. Man, I could hear the brakes sound. I could hear the wheel turn. Nighttime is like we forget the problem of the world and just enjoy the present. Day people are all asleep. Stores aren't crowded. Less traffic. Nightman. Sneaky and mean. Spider inside my dreams. I think I love you. You make me wanna cry. You make me wanna die. I love you. I love you. I love you. I love you. Nightman. The night sky is a huge sell for me, especially storm season. That and less people around. Owl hooting intensifies. The kids are asleep, and, for example, I can make myself something to eat and not have to make 3 of them B, not have to share any C, not have to listen to any whining or itching about any aspect of it. And I can do all of that while listening to my old man 80s rock and reminisce with myself about high school. Because for as much as high school itself sucked balls, the music was amazing. Less sensory stimulation. The end. The moon. Cricket sounds. No glare on the TV. I have social anxiety, so I like checking the mail and taking out trash at night because there's less people. Spooky shows are better at night. Lots of animals come out. It's the perfect times for going down Wikipedia rabbit holes and learning something unexpected. Much fewer people. Night animals. Less people awake. Less BS to tolerate. No pressure. Nothing being asked or expected of me. The quietness of it. I find I'm a lot more creative and can get more work done during the night because of that. I've started doing stretches outside in my yard at 1 AM and I just love the sound and feel of nights are the owls hooting, the coyotes howling, the calm of the wind. I love the stars and the moonlight. It's like magic to me for 30 minutes. Sometimes I can just chill with no one there to bother me. I end up feeling like one of those lofi characters. It makes me feel whole in a strange way. It's just the right temperature. The shining moon barely illuminating the beautiful view of my surrounding area. My pets contentedly sleeping while I do something like play a relaxing game, read, sketch, watch a nice show, or just generally chill. And then of course, there is the feeling of being perfectly content. Around this time I consider everything I have and how lucky I am to have everything I do and try to remember not to take anything for granted and savor every moment. Then, I fall into sleep. Edit. Wow. I read over this and I didn't know I felt this strongly about night lol. Weirdly poetic to me. My prime functioning time is around 10 PM to 5 AM. I really enjoy the night sky and lack of people in places that are typically crowded. The streets are quiet, the air is still, and I feel so awake. I wish more of the world operated in the night. It makes me feel sneaky, like a bandit, or an old Timmy outlaw on the lam. It adds a cinematic element to mischievous tiptoeing abouts, even if there's no one else in my domicile to disturb with my witching hour antics. If I'm up particularly late, as is the case tonight, I particularly enjoy working on art in my studio. Low music humming. Objects slightly rustling as my little fingers explore my many glass jars and wooden boxes filled with my myriad precious objects. Bones. Scraps of metal. Wood. And other natural or man-made debris that I acquire throughout the day. Squirreled away like pilfered goods in my pockets to be emptied and catalogued for future use. In punctuating the silence, these sounds, otherwise gone unnoticed amidst the chaos of day, remind me that I am a living being. That my movements have an impact. This reminder feels important, although I'm sure I can properly articulate why. So, I listen. My brain is always chit-chattering to itself throughout the day. Maybe it's the ADHD. Maybe I'm just too curious for a world as large and with as much access to information as this particular chapter in history provides. And all of this stimulus and movement and all of the bright sounds, the blaring of horns, the mosaic of overlapping conversations outside my window, bottles and cans hitting pavement, tires bring as they stop at the intersection, keep me from holding a thought long enough to make it meaningful at night. I follow a singular sound, the staccato thud of my beating heart, my steady breath, the susurrus of the wind as it winds its way between the buildings, gently passed through by distant cars, cascading downwards and bounding upwards. Touching without touching every object and living thing, including the acquaintance of my windows. It's almost as though, at night, the world becomes more considerate, all things are made soft, the light dimmed, noise is hushed, activity muted. I like it here, where it is steady and gentle, and my thoughts collect either to meander, winding as they please into quiet contemplation, or to find their center, where I can sit down and process a task at length without interruption. And the world goes to sleep, it also opens to nocturnal animals, to surreptitious meetings, to solitary walks, to meditation, to mischief, to both liberation and dedication of thought, and the beat beats, and beats, and beats, and beats, steady and gentle, into the morning. The door doesn't knock, the phone doesn't ring. I'm not plagued by people trying to contact me in any way. In the cool, calm quiet of the house at night, I know I'm truly alone and at peace. It's quiet enough so that I can hear myself think. That can be both a blessing and a curse, though. The lack of sun and heat. Conversations are more intimate. At least I feel they are. Peaceful. Can get things done. The never-ending availability of time. Sleep seems to be my only escape from a bad day. True peace-sick. Not being interrupted because someone wants something or there is some task needing to be done. It's quiet, peaceful, cool after the heat of day, beautiful with stars and the moon. Some video games are more fun if you play them at night. I'm gonna give Subnautica a try soon. I have been told that is better if you play it at night. Things are much quieter, the air is much cooler, and I don't have to do anything. I am finally by myself and can do whatever I want. I pretty much spend the whole day waiting for it to end, lol. There's fewer people and it's cooler. All those toxic types, that is. Life is a gift, let's all be happy. Yay, are asleep. Everything is silent. There's no sunlight burning out my eyeballs and I can just be myself. Calm and content. I'm a ginger. Sunlight burns. The sound of the fan above my bed, and the quiet world surrounding me, it's very nice. It seems to go on forever. I get paid 30% more to do 50% less work. During the early morning, I mean 2 AM to 4 AM, nobody expects you to do anything other than sleep. The normal thing is that if you have something to do, it is done during the day, so the early morning is completely yours to do whatever you want. But if you want something a little more romantic, in my case I live in a big city. Quite noisy, but a little over a year ago I started renting this house with a balcony, from which you can see a large part of the city. And a few months ago I realized that sometimes around 3 in the morning the city goes completely silent for a few minutes, no cars, dogs, cats, people or any type of sound other than that of the wind. And it is beautiful. That time between 3 AM and 4 when the world belongs to me. Night doesn't judge you. Night cradles you and nourishes you. You don't get up to be part of it, you stay up because you don't want to miss out on it. Night, after all, is well established as a time of idleness and inertia, so you never feel like you're wasting time at night. That can only happen during the daylight hours. The night lets you clear your mind. No one to bother me. I don't need to worry about making phone calls, receiving phone calls, no messages, no drama. It's quiet and dark. Also, I hate the sun and the light. There's just something about darkness that brings a calmness. I don't know why, but the sun just pisses me off. Quiet, no interruptions. Can listen to that podcast and do color by numbers on my iPad. But usually trying to survive a migraine or my anxiety or PTSD keeping me up. Shopping sprees are bad. That 3 o'clock 4 AM confidence that convinces you to get your life together. Multiple moments. For example, the sounds not made by men, but nature's little critters. The peaceful silence. The sky filled with bright stars. The shining moon. The moonlight shining the area around you. The night's fresh, cool and soft breeze. And the more these moments are together, the better the night will be. No one is watching me eat the last of the buckwheat pancakes in shame. I can go in and get work done uninterrupted. Cool air. Quiet. Dark. Peaceful. Just how calm, and it's better when it's raining softly. There's so much comfort in the darkness and the peace quiet of nighttime when everything's still and no one else is awake. The quiet, the temperature, the fact that no one is on the road and I can drive in peace, the crickets, lightning bugs, the friggin' moon, the fact that my family leaves me TF alone at night and I can relax and talk to my long distance friends. I only have two that live close to me anymore. When everything is dark, it keeps us from the stark reality. Everything is bearable, and in the still, all that you feel is tranquility. I would have to say without a doubt, it would have to be the solitude of it all. and just being alone to do pretty much what you would like and not be judged for it. For me, the night just goes by faster when you are not at work. At first it used to freak me out, but I have come to enjoy it. There is just something about walking down the street outside to get a pack of smokes that is just so peaceful, to be able to put things in perspective and being able to enjoy that moment and realize that it isn't so bad and things are going to be alright for the most part, because there will be plenty more instances of that moment to come. Quietness, tranquility and solitude. The yellow eye, it isn't watching us. Gollum. The silver eye, it doesn't burn us like the yellow one does. Does it, precious? Gollum. Walking alone and listening to the birds equals. The stillness. The day is beautiful and I love sitting outside just admiring colors and the breeze, but at night all the colors are muted and it's almost as if the world absorbs sound. Having a beer and a cig on the porch, enjoying the quiet while the world sleeps. Just being alone with just myself and my mind. Most people around me are asleep and I kind of live with a lot of people. So being up at night all alone and not being disturbed is amazing. I can cry for a couple hours if I want. Just be up on my phone looking at dumb it. Talk to my PPL in different time zones. Just get super ducking stoned trying to sleep. Stress about my life during the night so I don't gotta do during the day. Haha JK. I have always been in awe of almost complete silence other than say animal bird noises or the wind. It's just very nice to observe the world as it would be say I without too much human activity. I guess rural areas at night evening feel like the olden times. Nocturnal due to insomnia. Having the place to yourself is my favorite. I used to drive out to remote places in Scotland in the middle of the night. I ended up on first name terms with the local police as they would stop me and ask what I was doing, which developed into them just giving me a wave, a head nod, or even a bit of a chat while I was waiting on the sun coming up over some loch. Oddly, walking around the city center I live in now during lockdown reminded me of this and also made me release no one lives here, it's all students. Airbnb in the center. The other aspect was the food. Bakeries that open at 4 AM to get rolls etc that are straight out the oven. Supermarkets are normally full stocked. The 24 hours Tesco and Asda were headache free in the middle of the night. Just way less people. People ruin everything. Movie theater? Packed. Oh, I wanted to go to this nice spot by the water but there's a million people. Oh, maybe I'll get a coffee, but there's a massive line. New video game? Servers crashed. Too much volume. I'm just going to hang out with my friend. Traffic. Go to the gym at 6 PM versus 6 AM and look me in the eye and say 6 PM is better. Even if you hate mornings early enough they seem nocturnal. That empty gym is what dreams are made of. Nick. IDK, there's this real mystical feel when everyone's asleep and you stare into the sky, preferably on a cold night. Sleeping kids are easier targets. No one is around to judge me so I can be ugly in peace. I'm more energetic, calm and less stressed. That's why I like to do things at night. Clean the house, work and go out. Sometimes I go for a walk at 1 AM. There's no cars, noise or people. Everything is quiet. It's peaceful and quiet. I'm not afraid of the dark so it feels relaxing and freeing to me. All the roads and parks being completely open. I love the dark. Nighttime is the default setting of the universe. It's so pretty to drive down a dark street with dim streetlights and just be alone. I try to savor my drive into work every morning. 4 AM. There's something so nice about the stretch of time from, like, 3:30 to 4:45 in the morning. Hardly anybody else is awake. It's just you and the quiet. I go on a lot of walks around that time because it's such a peaceful time. That place right before the sun starts to properly rise, too, where the sky's just barely starting to get the faintest hints of light touching it. I love that it. I have exceptional night vision. I am almost 50 and still have exceptional night vision. I also have a strong spatial awareness. This gives me the ability to see my surroundings in my mind's eye even in total darkness as long as I am familiar with the environment. The eye's a muscle and like all muscles if you don't use it you lose it, so knowing this I am drawn to the night. I love everything about it. I want to practice seeing at night so I don't stop being able to see at night. It's quiet. It's comforting to know I will be aware of something before that something is aware of me. And I get to be alone whenever I like because everyone else has to be awake during the daylight hours. I am blessed.